What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Prey movie review and breakdown. Prey is the latest in a long line of Predator movies, some good and some bad. I'm delighted to say that this one is one of the good ones. It goes back to basics and just has a Comanche warrior fighting against a predator. I've long wanted a period piece Predator for a while, and can you imagine a samurai versus a predator? That'd go off. This movie goes deep into the lore and acts as a callback to Predator 2. Predator 2 ended with Danny Glover's character beating the Predator, but more turn up on their ship and they hand him a pistol that says Adolini on it. Now, this pistol would later appear in the Dark Horse Anniversary comic, where the pirate captain Adolini was betrayed by his crew but earned the respect of the Predator hunting him and handed the Predator the weapon to finish them off. The pistol is the one that Naru receives at the frontiersman camp, and while in the comics all of Adolini's crew died, it's unclear how this dude actually got it and gave it to Naru, and then, well, how did the Predators have it? However, based on the ending, more will return soon, and I think that they're kind of ignoring the comic but honouring it in a way. The gun was supposed to be a jumping off point to a Predator 3 story that never got made, but here we are. And like I just said, I think that the comic is the idea that this gun was all the way back then and that, well, they may get it soon. We open with Naru seeing the Thunderbird, a big figure in Native American history, and, well, that is not a Thunderbird, but it really is the ship of the Predator. It's a really good shot, and the Predator prepares as Naru is wanting to defy her destiny and become a hunter for her Comanche tribe in the Great Plains, but is belittled. It's only when she comes across a party going out to hunt a lion and a missing tribesman that she is allowed to join by her brother, reluctantly, who does sort of kind of believe in her and says she's a great tracker. Now, when they're out there, she's convinced that something else is doing this. Isn't a lion, as you see skinned animals around and the person they find left alive. And the whole thing's just not consistent with a mountain lion or a lion, whatever it is. However, they find the lion and her plan comes into action, but sadly she gets knocked out and is carried back to camp. Now, her brother returns after with the head of the lion. It's the same way she returns with the Predator's head at the end of the movie, and we found out later that her plan did work, proving she is actually a skilled hunter. However, just like her tribe, the Predator thinks nothing of her as she goes out to take it out. It doesn't see her as a threat. She gets stuck in mud she would use later, and she sees it kill a bear. Even when she's with the rest of her tribe who capture her, she is not a threat. She's laughed at for using a leash on her axe, but this was inspired by God of War according to the movie's director, as well as the shield, and that actual, leash on her axe is going to come in handy. Her fellow Comanche are killed and brutally by the looks of things, with the Predator looking absolutely so cool. We barely see it as it's cloaked and she's captured by the frontiersman. Earlier we saw the buffalo in a field wiped out, and these were killed by these dudes. The buffalo, if you may or may not know, is sacred in Native American history. Not a single part of it was wasted, but throughout history, the Europeans would come to America and they would kill them for sport. They would fire at them off of trains as well, later in history as well. And they were used as a wiping out method of the Native Americans. I liked how we hear Naru and Co in English and we don't understand the Europeans. Admittedly, there are Comanche dubs, which is very cool, but my screener did not have that on it as far as I could tell. They want to draw out the Predator using them as bait, but Naru says that will not work. It doesn't hunt like that. They want a challenge, which is funny, as the Predator is rolling around with an OP loadout. Predictably, the Europeans start to get wiped out with the arsenal of the Predator, and our girl gets the flintlock pistol, which almost works, but her brother is killed by the arm blades and she's left alone to fight. She needs to learn everything or use everything she's learned so far. She knows that the Europeans are a threat, so she captures the one that made her brother bleed and uses him as a kind of sort of bait, but more of a distraction really, as it takes to the Predator and we see some fight scenes. She uses what she thought was a weak leash, or others thought that, her plan and her brother's words to use the mask of the Predator to make it think it is a threat and it's killed. Yes, it is sort of similar to the Predators, but that film is not as good as this. She returns a hunter the same way her brother did. She's the true hunter as the rest were killed, but it doesn't end there. While it's a really cool finality to the story, the end credits show more ships arriving in the animation, and it looks like this is coming. Imagine the whole thing with AVP's flashbacks and the hunters coming to Earth maybe didn't happen, or it could have in a way. They may have moved up north. Overall, I really, really like this movie. It is one of the best Predator movies, I think. It's definitely up there with the first and the second one. And as well, I think it might be just above Predators for me. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like down if you enjoyed it. Do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.